does the future of your organization look like? If someone were to ask you where you think your organization is headed, how would you describe it? There's a scripture verse that says, "Without vision, people perish." And it's a powerful truth and reminder that people need purpose. Without purpose, people experience anxiety, frustration, and even despair. It's also true for organizations because organizations are made of people. When there's not clear vision, teams lose direction. Work becomes a chore, and so much for the spark that drives innovation and collaboration, it just vanishes. But when there's a compelling vision, suddenly life, direction, inspiration, and a reason to strive for something greater. A great example? Nonprofits. I mean, think about it. Why would anyone work for a nonprofit? The hours are long, the pay is low, the perks are minimal, and no flying business class if you travel, thank you very much. After all, you are accountable for stretching every single donor dollar. But in reality, nonprofits often attract the most passionate, driven people. And why? Because they have a vision. There's a bigger picture purpose and mission that they carry out. And there are lives to change and a world to impact. But in many organizations, there's a vision vacuum. And this happens when there's no clear sense of where the organization is headed or why. A vision vacuum can happen for several reasons. First of all, there's no defined vision. Leaders might assume a mission statement's good enough, but a mission statement explains why you exist, and a vision statement explains where you're going. Unclear vision. There's confusion between the mission and the vision. They are two very different things. It's too complicated. If it's too hard to remember or explain, it won't stick. It's not repeated. Even a great vision can fade if it's not regularly communicated. It's in the leader's head. If you don't share your vision, no one's going to know what it is, and they certainly can't follow it. In the weeds. Sometimes day-to-day demands take priority, and then the big picture, long-term picture, it all gets lost. When there's a vision vacuum, it doesn't stay empty for very long. Because just like dust gets sucked into a vacuum cleaner, people are going to fill that empty space with their own ideas. They might make up their own personal interpretations of where they think the organization should go, or they get set priorities, and sometimes they pull in directions that end up conflicting with each other. And then you've got frustration, alignment issues, and stalling. Gears grind to a halt. It's not a pretty sight. As a leader, you have the power to stop this cycle. But how do you create a vision that resonates? By using a future photo album. So creating a vision is like flipping through a photo album of your organization's future. Imagine on each page there are snapshots of what your future looks like. And your job is to describe those photos with vivid details so that everyone can see them too. So ask yourself, what does the future look like? Who's in the picture? What are they doing? What emotions do the people in the photos have? Your role as a leader is to bring those images to life. You can use lots of details, describe the atmosphere, the emotions, and the outcomes. So for example, you could say, imagine 5 years from now. Our team has grown and everywhere is just buzzing with collaboration. We get notes from the people we've served who are so happy because we've surpassed their expectations. We're celebrating as we reflect on how far we've come, the lives we've impacted, and the goals we've achieved together. Now, even this example isn't really the best because your organization has a particular product or service or mission that you want to accomplish, and you should definitely reference those things as concrete results in your vision. But it's just an example of the kind of storytelling that makes vision tangible. It gives people something concrete to aim for rather than stay generic or abstract. Without vision, teams will feel lost. They get set their priorities, and they really struggle to stay motivated. But when your team can see the future through your words, they feel connected to something bigger than themselves. And with that sense of purpose, people feel more engaged, they're more innovative, and their work feels life-giving. It turns work from a menial list of tasks into a really meaningful journey. And when people can visualize the future, they're much more motivated to move toward it. So take a moment to imagine your organization's future photo album. Flip through those snapshots in your mind. Start describing these photos to your team. Share the vision and make it real. When you do, you'll impact the way that your organization works. You'll go from simply functioning to flourishing with purpose and direction.